Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to this town hall meeting. It's 12 right now, and we pride ourselves with keeping to time, so we're going to begin right away. This town hall meeting is organized by AfroInvest Securities Limited, and my name is Treasure Okuku. I'm excited to be your host for today. It promises to be very, very insightful. Please take the time out to invite your friends, your family, your colleagues, anyone you believe should be in this meeting right now, because we promise to drop some gems for you, as we end 2022. And for those who don't know, AfroInvest Securities Limited is a subsidiary of AfroInvest West Africa Limited. We are a licensed holder of the Nigerian Exchange. We are licensed by the Securities and Exchange Commission as a broker-dealer. We provide trading opportunities for equity, money markets, and debt instruments. So we brought this together to be able to enlighten both investors and potential investors, because it is important to us that we expand the scope of your knowledge, just as we help you invest and do all that we do for you. Please note that this session is going to be recorded and will be uploaded on our YouTube channel. You can find it by simply searching AfroInvest West Africa, and you'll be able to have access to this. We've seen invited guests. Our guest is an investment professional who is a chartered accountant, and certified financial education instructor. She's the founder of FinTribe, a female-focused personal finance platform. She's known for simplifying investments, and she has impacted thousands of people and pushed them to have the financial wellness that they want to have. She's popularly known as Financial Jennifer. Welcome, Jennifer.
Hi, Treasure. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. Thank you for joining us. To join you in this conversation that we've anticipated for so long is our in-house expert. He's an expert by excellence, a mentor to many, with over 16 years of experience in the financial services space. Aside being an authorized dealing clerk of the Nigerian Exchange, Ayo is a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, CIS, and of the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants in the UK, ACCA. Is also an associate of the Chartered Institute of Securities and Investment, CISI UK. Ayodeji is a member of the Governing Council of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers and has served on several committees of the CIS, and currently serves as the chairman of the Research and Technical Committee and a member of the Educational Committee. Ayodeji Ebo is the managing director of Optimus by AfroInvest, our fintech arm. Welcome with me, Ayo. Ayo, we're excited to have you. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Ayo. So before we begin this conversation, for anyone that is on here, I see the numbers keep increasing, and I know that as the conversation goes on, we would have questions. So feel free to drop your questions in the chat box. Towards the end of this meeting, we would touch on as many as we can. See, I'm not promising to touch on all, but we will touch on as many as we can. So drop them, and I'd like to give the floor to Jennifer and Ayo right now to take this conversation away. Thank you so much.
Okay, hi Treasure. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, AfroInvest. Thank you so much for this invite. It's really exciting. When I got the invite, I looked at the topic. I'm like, this is the kind of topic we need to discuss at this time of the year. It's that time when everybody, we are reviewing our wins and losses for the year. And most times, I know many of us, we might not have gotten to where we want to be, but this is the perfect opportunity for us to review and strategize for next year. Thank you so much for having me. And then, hi, Mr. Ayo. It's just a pleasure sharing the platform with you, because I'm feeling myself right now sharing the platform with my mentor and someone that is a mentor to many people I know. So like a feather to my cap. Thank you so much for having me. So everyone, this is going to be a conversation, Mr. Ayo. I hope you don't mind. You are the expert of the house, please. Yes, but we are going to assume that I and a lot of people in the audience, we are new. We don't know much. So we count on you. We are at your mercy to explain everything for us. So when it comes to investment, that is one thing I'm passionate about. I don't know if there is anyone from my audience here on social media or anywhere, if you are coming from on social media, or if you're a friend of Financial Jennifer, let me see you in the comment section. And Happy Invest family, thank you for having us. So back to investments is something I'm passionate about, but it is because this is the only way. When we hear make your money work for you, some of us think is magic. Some of us think is MMM. Some of us think I don't know. But investment is the only way I know that okay, I have 100,000 naira. And this 100,000 has the potential of turning to something way, way greater than that. If I leave my 100,000 in the bank, my brother, my sister, from year to year, it remains 100,000. In fact, that's if the bank people do not even cut it short. Today, if you're not getting maintenance charge, you are getting VAT. You are getting, like this one they use to debit now that makes me so crazy. I don't get it. But that same 100,000 invested in something can turn to 110,000 tomorrow. It can turn to 130,000 the next day. And just like that, we grow it. So if we have an instrument that can do this for us, that can make money for us while we sleep, why are we not taking advantage of it? Do you get? So that's why I was so excited by this topic. So before we start, Mr. Ayo, please, let me tell you one challenge I have. I know I'm not coming here with my problem and my people's problem, but there's one challenge you have when it comes to teaching about investment. When you tell people the possibilities, the potentials, the things they tend to get from investment, do you know what they will tell you? They will start recounting all the stories, all the, what will I call it? Breakfast. Yes, many of us have strong breakfast on top of this investment thing. Investment's gone bad. You have Ponzi schemes. Last year was a terrible year for a lot of people online because these people were out there everywhere promising us things. And anyway, we are humans. Everybody wants the best. But then at the end of the day, no trace of our money again. In fact, there's one that that rocked Facebook earlier this year. A lot of people that are close to me were affected, and it was so painful. And now, when you go back to them to talk about it, they will even send you. Like the way they will, I beg, my I invested 10 million here, I invested this one here, it has not come back, this and this. So it's actually a challenge. So I feel like for us to have this conversation with an open mind, please, can you tell us, when people come preaching to us about investments, what are the things we should look out for? Okay, let me call it red lines. Yeah, red flags. Yeah. What are the red flags that we should know that, no, if they tell us stories, all those are plenty stories, what and what should we look out for to know that this one is a Ponzi scheme, this one is legit, this one is not? Please, let's start the conversation with that.
Okay, thanks. And thanks for having me. I, Financial Jennifer, and I'm an addicted follower of our page, of our punchlines. And yeah, so you have really captured what would be in the mind of people, because even from experience, most people they are just quiet, smiling, but a lot of people have been affected, are falling into different hands, and they've lost investments. And one thing that I feel one of the things that I think we should first note is that when people come asking us to come and invest, when you hear the returns, the first thing you ask is, how will this person make this return? So thank God that today we are talking about those credible investments. So when they are putting up that return, we'll be able to ask questions that, where are you putting this money from where? We all saw what even happened in the agri space, which we all know they are no control over, they don't have control over the weather, there's Boko Haram. So if someone is promising you a fixed return, then you should be asking questions. How are you going to make it? If Boko Haram comes to your farm, are you still going to get this return? So if we ask questions, we'll be able to probe, and it will be clear to us. Secondly, it's always very complex model that they use. And there's one rule of the thumb: when someone is trying to explain a business of how they make money, and it's taking more than 5 minutes for you to understand it, then you should run how they make the money. But if it's clear and they tell you, this money, we buy it and we collect it, we aggregate it and invest in something, and you understand that instrument that they invest, you'll see that it's really very clear. If it's stocks, it's very clear, but it is always very complex model. Again, most of them are not registered. When you ask them what are the licenses that they have, they are not registered anywhere. they only have the CAC license, which is registering a company. So when we ask, we have the regulators that are in charge of, investment, which is the Securities and Exchange Commission. If you go to their website, you will check most of these people are not registered. It's to minimize falling into their hands. So you will be able to check and to help you. Beyond and wrapping up with that is that we should always ask questions when you are in doubt, which is one of the reasons why from time to time AfriInvest also organize platform like this. Ask questions. So when you, because for professionals who would have heard stories from different people how they falling into different schemes. And I think I missed this out. Any scheme that they're asking you to bring someone before you be able to get return. Shine your eyes, I put it that way. You must, it means if we look at it this way, it means that the money of all the people that you are bringing in is what they want to pay you. From that, so at the end of the day, you may collect your money, but all your people that you have brought in, they will be the one that would suffer it. So once we have that kind of perception and understanding about it, it will minimize it to a level as much as we can. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I see quite a number of people joining us. AfriInvest, people can draw a crowd. Sorry, I don't know. I would want to know where our audience are tuning in from. Are you from Lagos? Are you tuning in from Port Harcourt? If you don't mind, share with us in the comment section. Let's see the people we are talking to. It will also help us to know the geographical perspectives we should address it from. So Ayo has mentioned it all. Ask questions. Like that's like the major thing I get from this thing. Ask questions. But you know the funny thing? Sometimes when you ask, they'll just dismiss you. This one don't want to make money. Like you now become the bad. Even the people you want to ask for, they would all of them turn around against you. I remember one that happened that time. It's also agri-tech. I made a post that time. I was like, okay, I think influencers. I was like, the influencers that these people have, how can they vouch for these companies? Hey, they finished me that day. If you see the influencers we are typing, hey, this one and that one, that you don't want people to progress, that people, hey, simple question I asked. And I don't need to out to how many months what happened to others happened to these same people. And it is very sad to note. But okay, coming back to what you said, thank you so much. My people, if you had it, ask question, how are you making this money? Where is my money going into? And that is one thing I appreciate about AfriInvest a lot, because I see you making the attempt. We get a lot of emails from you, the Monday analysis, even the one on Wednesday's feed that attempts to simplify all of this for us. We are so grateful for them. Okay, that's out of the way. Let's now be getting into why we are here gradually. Okay, we've had the things we should not invest in. My next question will now be, what are the things we should invest in? If we should not invest in this, what should we invest in? How can AfriInvest help us? What are these credible investments you suggest? I know that we might not have a lot of time to go in depth, but please, if you would be kind enough to summarize some of these available options we have. And bear in mind that many of us, not all of us are big men like you. Some of us, we are still up and coming. We can afford to do 5,000. We can afford to do 10,000. And then I know the big boys and the big girls that have millions. Please, if you can make your response to a comparison, so that those of us that are up and coming will have something, and those that are up there, they would have something. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I can see there's so many locations presented here. Over to you, Ayo. Please, what are the credible investment options we have?
Okay, thanks. And I think I would start with the one that I would say it's fully safe, and you can always build your investment from it, which is what we call fixed income. From just the word fixed, it just means that you know the return, the amounts that they will pay you at the end of the period. You know when the funds would mature, and you also know the total amount, interest and principal that you will get. So there's no story that if it's 6 months, at 6 months, so it's no longer 5,000, it has gone to 4,000. So I will start with the FGN savings bond that started about 4 years ago. The minimum for that is 5,000 naira, and it means it's available to everybody. And what government have done is that on a monthly basis, first week or second week of the month, they issue FGN bonds. But what are bonds? Bonds is that you are lending money to the government. I know once you hear government now, everybody will say, this government, my money. But the way you will also look at it is that government have support, because the money, the fund, what you are borrowing government is in Naira, and there's a CBN that can always support them, whether they need to print money or they need to support them to meet that obligation. So you have nothing to fear. Yes, we can all discuss that, won't it cause inflation? But first get your money first, then we can all be thinking about inflation. So for most of the instruments that are issued in Naira, which is, we are talking about FGN savings bond now, which is in Naira. And the interesting thing about this FGN savings bond is interests are paid every 3 months. So if you have invested 100,000, for instance, or let me use 10,000, you've invested 10,000, for instance, and the interest rate is 12%. That means you are getting 1,200. But that 1,200 would be split into 4 parts. So it means you'll be getting 300 Naira every 3 months. And for the FGN savings bond, you have the one that is for 2 years and the one that is 3 years. I know in our mind that this one is long, but that is why it's savings. It's the money that you feel you may not want to touch within the next 2 years or next 3 years, or you're just passing through somewhere, someone dash you 5,000, 10,000. Instead of spending it, you just put it in the savings bond. But every 3 months for the next 2 years or 3 years, something will be dropping directly to your account. And it's simple. It's once you complete the form, you sign up, you complete the form, your bank details will already be there. So they will be paying that money. You don't need to call anybody. You don't need to call AfriInvest before you get your interest. That is the interesting thing. And know that government has been meeting that obligations. So, and they will continue to meet the obligations. So that's FGN savings bond. And it's every month. I think next week again, it will open on Monday for those that want to invest for the FGN savings bond. Nice. Secondly, the treasury bills, which is also government. It is in Naira. It means that government will not default or cannot default on it. The minimum for that one, AfriInvest has done it to make it accessible to everyone. Normal in the market is about 250 million, which you see is on the high side. But they've been able to use their relationship to break it down to minimum of 100,000 Naira. It means that if you decide that you want to be saving 100,000 Naira every month, if you can afford it, you can begin to buy treasury bills. And the way I would always put it is, let's assume you are saving towards your rent, and your rent is next year, September. For treasury bills, there's always one bill, which is that instrument, or that is always issued, that is monthly. So you see January 2023 treasury bills, you see February 2023. It goes like that till like December 2023. You can, if your rent is due in September, you can decide to invest, and every month what you are buying is September treasury bills. Before you know it, when September comes, all that money can come together, which when it matures, and you can use it to pay your rent. So that's one way you can take advantage of treasury bills. The interest rate is also may not be as high as some other instruments, but these are government instruments that you know that there's a backing. Government has that backing that they would continue to pay when it's fall due, or they issue new ones and they will be able to pay. So you have nothing to fear. That one you can sleep with your 2 eyes. When it matures, your investment is there. And rather than leaving it, because I always also see people based on my experience that let me just leave that money in the bank. How much is, if I put 100,000, I get 1,200, or I get 12,000. How much is that? But you don't know that inflation, which is almost at 22% or above 22%, if you are not doing anything with it, it means that 100,000 might decline in value. If it's 22%, that means the 100,000 in quotes, what it can buy in 1 year again will be about 80-something thousand. So it means, like what Financial Jennifer was saying, that you cannot just afford to leave that money there. So it may look like you are not losing something, but when you get to the market, you will discover that this 100,000 that you have saved cannot buy what you intend again. But if you now have an investment that will give you 15% and inflation is 21, 22%, it means that 100,000 will increase to about 115,000, and you can still buy something, or you had small money to buy that thing. So it's good we have that at the back of our mind. Also, commercial paper, it also works like treasury bills. The only thing is that it is companies that are issuing it, companies that need your money. And what we do at AfriInvest, before we even try to send out any, we look at those companies that we know that you'll be able to get back your money. Most times, maximum duration to, that's the period when you are investing, is 270 days. You have the one that is 90 days, you have the one that is 182 days, and you have the one for 270 days. The only thing is that you also plan, you can't easily, when you invest, it's not something that you can take out your money. So it means that you need to plan well, that I know that this fund that I need is, I will not use it within the next 270 days. And the minimum for that is 5 million naira. So you will see that with 100,000, with 5,000, you can still earn good interest. And for those that can afford the 5 million, you still earn the interest. So those that are the fixed income. There's also the bonds, which is also for high end. It works like the normal, is also fixed income, but the minimum can be as high as 20 million. So we can provide, because of time, we can always provide more context around that. But the essence, what we're saying is, for the fixed income, you can always go to sleep. The interest rates may not be encouraging, but like we started, you have rest of mind. You cannot lose your principal or lose if you don't even get much interest, compared to trying to take a risk with an investment that you don't understand. And over time, like you feel that when you are trying to retire, that is when you now begin to need to work harder, because you have lost all the savings that you worked for. It can be very painful, and we've seen it happen to a lot of people. And lastly, I'll wrap up with stocks. I know for some of us, yes, stocks, say, me, all my money that I saved 10 years ago, the market has taken it. But one thing about stock is you need to have that long-term plan.
Sure.
Like Warren Buffett would say that if you not invest, you are not happy to stay for almost 10 years. There's no point staying for 10 minutes in the market. So you always have that long-term view about the market. And in selecting stock is always easy, apart from the research that our research department sends out. When you know stocks that have been paying dividend, you check it the last 10 years. How much dividend have they been paying? How much is the stock? So if they've been paying you 3 naira and the stock is 20 naira, you just see what's the return, what you make from it. 3 naira divided by 20 naira, you can see that it's as high as 15%. So it's a way to diversify, that you don't put all your income in fixed income. And there are stocks that are consistent. There are stocks that have been consistent in paying dividends. So when you look out for those stocks, and you look out for, when you are looking at stocks, you're investing to get appreciation. Capital appreciation is you invest in a stock at 10 naira, and when it gets to 15 naira, that's 50% increase. And if they pay dividend of 10 naira again, that's another 10%. You can see that for stocks, it may look risky, but if you have that long-term view, you'll be enjoying just the return that you get on a constant basis. So once you have that perspective, even when it's down, you are not going to be scared. And that's why, understand yourself, that if you are the type that if it's down by 1 naira, you will not sleep. Don't go. Or you begin to call your account officer that, sir, this my 1 million is now 990,000. What should we do? So once you have the understanding that it can still become 2 million over a long time, then you will not be scared, even when it comes down to 800, because economy is in cycles, market is in cycles, and over time, the market will always bounce back.
Wow. Okay. Thank you. Between the gems you are dropping and the conversations in the comments, I think you've got our attention totally. Thank you so much, Mr. Ayo. And before we continue, please, I think there are so many comments or some, if you have questions, I feel it's more appropriate to leave it in the Q&A. There's a Q&A box which will make it easier to track. Don't worry, we've got you. At the end of this hour talk, we're going to take question and answers. Don't worry, AfriVest is not going anywhere today. Answer all our questions today. So please, I think it's better we leave questions on the Q&A instead of on the chat so that we don't miss it. There are a lot of engagement happening on the chat. Okay, back to what Mr. Ayo just said, stock. There are so many options. I think I counted like 5 or more options you listed. I know many of us will be like, which one are we going to do? It's good. It's a good thing he explained these things. It's left for us to decide, okay, this is the minimum amount and all of that. How do I proceed? But not to worry, before we end this show today, I'm going to explain exactly how I do mine personally. Yeah, because in as much as you want to do investments, you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. Like it pays to diversify. So before we end, I'm going to tell you what my portfolio is like, how I'm able to build it over time. Okay, so I'm going to dwell a bit more on stock, please. That's my personal favorite, and I feel like it's something many of us, like you said, if you don't mind the up and down, stock is something I encourage people to explore, because unlike other investments, unlike other options, this is the only options that buys you a stake in a company. You can boldly say, I own the stock of this company, therefore I'm a part owner of this company. In fact, I tell people, as you see me, so Financial Jennifer, I am a part owner of MTN. Hey, before I even forget, AfriInvest, we have to thank you, my community and I. I remember back then in December when MTN did a primary offer, thousands of us keyed in through AfriInvest. It was a seamless listing for us. And today, whenever MTN pays shares, you need to see my inbox. People are like, oh my God, Jennifer, thank you, thank AfriInvest and all of that. You people are like our community favorite, if I will put it that way, because of what you did for us in the time of MTN. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so still on stock. There's something that happens whenever I talk about stock investment out there. I do it all the time. You will always see that one person that will tell you, Jennifer, the stock I bought back in 2001, the stock my parents bought for me back in 19 something, I don't know the whereabouts of it again, this one and that one, like, and it's usually a painful something. They will tell you how they use, I have someone that told me that when she was in school, one of the people that were knowledge that in all of these things, any pocket money they pays her, she used it to buy stock back then, I think early 2000s, and then something happened. I think the broker she was using, I can't remember what happened, but she doesn't have record of these things again. She can't tell the whereabouts. And I get these things a lot. And I know that AfriInvest has a provision for this, because a friend of mine has been able to recover her own through you. So please, if you can explain to us, for people like this, what can you do for us? What can AfriInvest do for us? For those of us that don't have track record of the stocks we bought back in the days, for ourselves, for our parents, for our relatives and friends, please, what can AfriInvest do for us in that regard? Can we get this stock back? Is there hope for us?
Okay, yes, thanks. And that is one thing about innovation that AfriInvest is also known for. So some years back, the AfriInvest came up with a product called AfriTrack, which is helping you track all this, your investment that you don't know where it is. Whether it's your shares, whether it's bonus, or you have not been getting dividend, whether it's for your deceased persons, or is also for you. We're also able to help you track it. And it's always very simple. Once you sign up and become a customer, because we need to first know you before we start searching for something for you. And once you're able to sign up, then we help you, we ask you questions, because it's very unique. Everyone have their individual challenges in terms of recovering this stock. So some is only dividend they've not been seeing, some is their bonuses, some don't even know the house, the security stockbroker that they used, and some they have evidence, some don't even have evidence that they purchased it. So based on once you reach out, we'll be able to understand your peculiar problem and how to help you. But the beauty is that AfriInvest is over 27 years, and we have that strong relationship with the registrars. They are the one that keeps the record of the shares. So if you have, let's say you bought shares, like Financial Jennifer mentioned, 2001 for GT Bank, but they've been paying dividend. We would help you recover all the dividend they've paid from 2001 to date.
Oh, really?
Everything. It will pay to your bank account. So it's a very interesting product that if you subscribe to it, you don't have any, all the shares that you don't know that you have in your name will be able to help you recover it. And we help you consolidate. Some people, as then when shares was booming in 2007, as people they just buy different houses. They have different shares in like 5 different houses. Would help you bring everything together. And because we have AfriInvest as that platform where you can see, you don't need to be calling anybody to know the units you have. You don't need to be calling anybody when what the value of your portfolio is. We'll send you emails, and you also know the value of what you have. So it's an interesting product that anybody that has gotten that doesn't have traces of where his or her shares are, is a good product that you need to subscribe to.
Nice one. Thank you so much. AfriInvest is V on this course. It's like I'm not the only fan she has here. All the fans of him, you should go and start a club, because those are weekly emails have been so helpful. Thank you so much, Ayo. It's really exciting to, honestly, I didn't even know you can recover your dividends. I thought that, okay, if I'm able to get all my shares, at least I should be fine. But now you're telling me, even though it's 10 years, or I will still recover my dividends. That's really, really nice to note. Thank you so much. And before I move on from stock, I'm still going to ask you one more question, because I know that stock is like the most popular for many of us. I know that one of the another questions I usually get, maybe I can just touch on this and we move on. One of the other questions I usually get on stock is, what stock should I buy? And that is where else I'm going to commend the team, because every Monday, I remember, I think I subscribed to AfriInvest this last year. And from that last year to today, every Monday, I get this, what's the title? Stock recommendation, yes, from your research team. And it has been so helpful, because I know the one that I pay for similar service was for foreign stocks and all of that. So to see that people are doing this thing free for us every day, every morning, they're able to tell you, okay, buy this, sell this. It has been so helpful. I think I have to commend the team on that before I move on. But people should not start charging us for it. So not because I've said it now, you're not saying we should start paying. But even if you ask us to pay, I would gladly do that, because I know a lot of us, we want to do this thing, but we are not sure where to start. What stock should I buy? And all of that. It can be very discouraging, but that email has been so helpful. So everyone, if you're on this call, you are always wondering, okay, I've had the stock, is amazing, which one should I buy? I suggest you subscribe to their, I don't know, how can we, I don't know, if you're interested.
The way is, once you sign up, you become a client, you're entitled to receive them for free. Yes.
Automatically?
Yes. So once
nice. I can't remember. It was in MTN I got on board. I can't remember how I did it.
Once you sign up on the platform which you talk about, the mobile, whether you're using the app or the web, and you become a customer, then you'll be entitled to all the emails.
Oh, great. Now you said it, the app. I also have to say something on that one. I think you should even explain it for us. I know that before then, the first time I bought stock with AfriInvest MTN, we had to send email. It was manual. We sent email, buy for me, and there were a little bit back and forth until I was introduced to the app, which has been amazing. And recently, I think there was an upgrade to the app. And this time around, you will go on the platform, like you will see, it's like it now has real time, and I can tell from, where is my phone? If I look at my app, I can tell you this is how much MTN is selling today. This is how much GT is selling today. It's so helpful. Like the interface is now simple and everything. I commend the team on that as well. Yeah, maybe you can please help us shed light on that. Instead of writing you an email to do this thing, your platform, talk to us. I'm already a client, so but talk to us, everybody in the audience, about your app. How can we get it? What can it do for us, and all of that.
Okay, yes, thank you, Financial Jennifer. And for the mobile app, so what we've done is to re-optimize it, and we try to redesign it, because we took feedback from the first one, because a lot of customers had challenges signing up, buying shares, and now we'll be able to relaunch the app. And based on the feedback has been positive, though you can have one or two people that have issues, which sometimes for technology is normal. But the interesting thing about AfriInvest is we build this thing from scratch in-house. So whenever there are concerns, there are issues, we fix it most immediately, and it's an ongoing process. So the app, when you even from the look and feel, we have to redesign the look and feel to make it more attractive and to make shares more interesting so that it's not like a boring activity. Beyond that, there are some research that we're also trying to add to it, where you can, when you want to buy Access Bank, for instance, be able to see all the research reports beyond what is sent to you. Very soon you'll be able to see that, which would also help you to take decisions. But one thing I like about this current app is also looking at the charts. You can see the trend. You want to see the last few few months to see whether you are buying high or you are buying low. And they also been able to add, because when you are trading, you also want to know what market is saying. Is it what I want people, those that want to buy, what price, and those that want to sell, where most apps don't have it. So now, once you have the AfriInvest 2.0, you're able to see, so that you're not buying at the price that is too high or you are selling at the price that is too low. So these are some of the interesting things, but it's an ongoing process. The app, the 2.0 was launched less than 2 months ago, and work is still ongoing to also make it more interesting and make it more friendly for a lot of customers. So we are taking feedback, and we continue to improve on it based on the feedback that we are getting.
Thank you so much. I think we have so many comments on the section of Braz or said it's fantastic. Okay, someone said it's low. I don't know. Personally, I have not encountered that, but maybe you should talk to the team. We need an app. Joy, there's an app already. Okay, so I think, do I have any other question? I talked too much. I think this is the point. I just calm down for the audience. But before then, so I need to conclude with something. We've had the different investment options now. I'm no longer talking to the experts. I'm not talking to my fellow audience. We've had different investment options we can venture into, build wealth with, and all of that. I know the question will now be, what next? How do we proceed? I'm going to share with you personally how I do my own. But before then, let me tell you about, I have a senior friend. She should be, in fact, the classes of friends I have, that lady should be like in her 80s. I think when we met, she was late 70s, heading to 80. How did we meet? When I first joined the industry, she came for something because of this stock thing. We're having a discussion. She wants to travel with her husband then. That was early last year. She wanted to travel with the husband. So she said she's selling her stock to fund the vacation. Like, this couple are in their late 70s heading to 80 and they're going on vacation. It was so sweet. You see the two of them interacting. So the woman was like, she wants to sell her stock because they're traveling. They don't want to disturb their children and all of that. We got into a conversation and it opened my eye to a lot of things. She was not advising me that is not a financial journey, but I was not receiving financial advice from someone with experience. So she was telling me how she started investing in this stock thing. That back then, I think in the 80s or thereabout, that in their office where they work, they would have brokers. Then stock was not a mainstream thing back then, but these brokers would come to their office, talk to them, so bank is going public, would they buy? And she didn't even know what she was doing. She would just blindly buy. Then she went back to the husband. The husband was a bit more enlightened. He was telling her, don't worry, go ahead, buy and all of that. So this is, those brokers now, almost every month, they come to their office, those interested, they collect their money, fill form and all of that. She was just doing it, like basically every month they come and she buys. And now, you see the woman's portfolio. And this portfolio, she has been liquidating it for years now. So she stopped at, we have stopped. Please, can you confirm if you can hear me? Hi, yes, Vanessa. Okay. Yes. So sorry, Vanessa. Maybe you might want to try to leave and come back again. Hi, Lola. Thank you, everyone. Okay, so I was telling a story. So now, at a point, of course, they've retired and all of that. Do you know, since that retirement till date, she's still liquidating her stock portfolio. This is in the absence of all the dividends that come. Whenever they want to do a major thing, they'll just sell some. Whenever dividend comes, like that is what they are living on. And I was so amazed. Their children are of age. And one of the kids is even a celebrity, you might know them, but they don't disturb them. They don't go to their children for anything because their portfolio is enough to take care of them. I'm like, God, this is the kind of life I want to live. Old and balling, do you get? So this it helped me to realize that at this age I can work for money. This is also the best time for me to put out something. So I have I have a friend every month. Messiah talked about it, FJ savings bond. This is my friend every month. Don't play with her 50,000 naira. Sean, I don't know if she's on this call. Every month, Sean will have 50,000, bam, is going to FJ savings bond. She's like, she doesn't miss it for anything. And for her, that is her own way of saving for the future, investing for the future. So personally, how do I do my own? At the moment, I do a lot of stock investment and then other fixed income because I feel like the younger you are you in your 50s or less than 60 and all of that, there is more, we have more time, we can stock from what from the investment options listed. I feel like stock is of more risk. I feel like it's of more risk than other fixed income. So because I have time, I feel like I have time, just like many of us here, we can afford to take a little bit more risks. The risk is that you don't know what will happen tomorrow. It goes up and down with the company, you know, that is not as stable as the other fixed income. But I still do that a lot of it. So what do I do? Every month, I have a particular amount I invest in stock markets. So I already know that this month, okay, this is stock I want to buy. Every month I take them like 2 or 3, it depends, but it must be that amount. If it is 10,000, okay, this month I'm putting 5,000 in this stock, 5,000 in this stock. This money, I'm not doing it for income. Of course, the dividends will come. The MTN dividend that came, that one is gone. I didn't put it back. I used that one as income. I spent it, but those one I'm putting my capital in there. I'm not putting it there to generate income for me, immediate income for me. It's for the future. It's like I put it that this is the money I'll use for retirement. That's why I see my stock portfolio is for my retirement. And then aside from that, I save on Optimus. I don't know how many of you have Optimus. It's a new platform. I save on Optimus. So it's based that one now. It's like a fund I use for fixed income. What do I mean? They've told us that treasury bill with 100,000, you can do it. Commercial paper with 5 million, you can do it. I may not be able to afford that money at the point of it. So what I do is that I use fintech to build up my fund. So as I'm putting this portion in stock, I'm putting this other portion in savings, but I don't leave it in the bank because if it's in the bank, it's idle money. It's not making any income for me. So when I leave it on a fintech platform, I use Optimus personally. It makes income for me. It makes interest for me. Now, when the money gets to a point, I will pull it out and put it into fixed income investments. That's how I do my own. Very simple. 2 ways: stock here, savings here. When the savings comes up, I pull it out and put in fixed income. Sometimes I do treasury bill. Recently I did commercial paper because this is money I've been trying to save up for a while. And then when commercial paper came out, the rate was so nice. I had to pull it out and put it there. And this is how I have been building my own. I'm not wealthy yet, so we are still on the journey. But I can confidently say the me of today is doing way better than the me of yesterday, because now I can be able to tell my money, or I go to work, do something, I am working, my money is working. And at the end of the day, it's paying off. Honestly, it's paying off. So audience, my friends, my family, my everybody here, I hope that this section has been insightful for you. You've seen the different options you can explore. And I hope that after this, where you need more light, where you need more guidance, please reach out to the team to guide you. I know they're always ready to guide you on how you can do all of these things. So, okay, I'm going to pull it back to our expert, Mr. Ayo. I don't know if you have anything for us before we can start taking. Okay, there is an email address on the screen. Please pick this email address. If there's any question we can't answer here today, please reach out to the team for a subsequent time for more explanations. Let's take it back to our experts. Please, what else do you have for us? Maybe concluding before we start taking questions from the audience.
Okay, thanks. So, and you have simplified building investment, and which I believe that for even our listeners, we've been able to help them identify building credible investment. So I think one thing about investment is that consistency, that
Yeah.
discipline. So it's good we're having this at the almost the end of the year, and 2023, everybody will come. This is my resolution. I want to save, I want to have investment of 1 million, to have this 5 million. So what you would do in terms of portfolio is that we have spoken about different type of credible investment. So in your own, if you don't know how to use Excel, you can have it in your notes and you say, for fixed income, for FGM bonds, every month, I just want to be putting 5,000. For other funds or stocks, if it's 1,000 naira you want to be putting, you have that list and you consistently follow it. So when you don't have, where you cannot invest based on a particular minimum level, you can first build it up, then you gather the money. You don't have up to 100,000. You gather the money, then when you have 100,000, then you bring it to those investments. That's how you build your investment over time. So it's that consistency that will help. And there's that power of compounding, if I'll wrap up with it, which is making your interest earn interest. So when the interest, what I always suggest for even FGN savings bond, because the interest is paid in your account. So even if you are getting the interest, if you have an account that you don't use, not the one you have ATM to, not the one that every time you make transfer from, when they pay that interest, when you see that it's up to, I think 1,000 naira, which you can add to it, you can, for that month, instead of investing 5,000, you can invest 6,000 in that month. Before you know it, every month something will be dropping. So when you had it, if you are consistent about it for 5 years, for 6 years, that interest, instead of earning return on 5 million or 5,000, you will earn return on 6,000. And that compounding effect, which we all say is the eighth magic of the world, you will discover that you have been praying you want to be a millionaire. If you start consistently, before you know it, you will have millions with less effort. Because what happens is, at the end, when you do a 20-year analysis, the amount you are contributing is less than half of the amount of interest that you get if you are consistent about compounding that interest that you get on your investment.
Thank you so much. Treasure, you've taken your stage. Now we're handing it back to you.
It's fine. Thank you so much, Ayo and Jennifer. I don't know if anyone noticed, I had my pen and paper right beside me and I'm writing. So if some of us have been in this webinars time and time can take notes, I feel like I'll still go back to YouTube and watch. At least that time I'll not be an anchor. As you were talking, I did just a small calculation. So 100 naira every day times 365 days is 36,500. At the beginning of this year, I was helping people to shout, I'll buy beds. I'll buy beds. When I multiplied it by 20 years, that's 730,000. Some of us can do more. If we're being honest, we eat biscuits 100 naira every day. Some of us buy water, one bottle water is 100 naira. We can do 500, we can do 1,000. You save to invest. Some of us don't save and put the money there. Bank will remove the amount at the end of the year, use us to do Happy New Year and all of that. So 2023, I'm joining you guys to say, I'll do better. I'll save more and I'll invest more. So let's do it together, right? So I can see some questions coming in. So I'll just direct as I am moved. So I can direct to Jennifer and direct to
if you send me the one I don't know, thank God my mentor is here. He will answer us, so no problem.
That's right. So there's a question here that is from Momo Bashir Omeza. He says, is there any way AfriInvest can create a pool of funds to enable investors with low income to benefit from commercial paper, since commercial paper is for the big boys in the game? I'll direct that question to Ayo.
Okay, thanks. And what we have also done is that we spoke about the FGN savings bond, which is 5,000 naira. It means you can also accumulate that over time and begin to invest in treasury bills. So we've spoken about 5,000. The month you have 20,000, you put it there. The month you have 50,000, you put it there. So you'll be able to build your investments. And Financial Jennifer mentioned the Optimus app that can help you if it's 100 naira you want to be saving or 1,000 naira every time. Then you build it, then you move it to invest in treasury bills and have that investment. So it's over time, it's about building it. So you're not going to start, they say Rome is not built in a day. So there's minimum threshold, 5 million, there's 100,000. Not everybody can put together 100,000 at a time. But also for shares, if you are very young and you're just starting, you still have a long number of years to work. You can be investing 1,000 naira in stocks every month. You can have, so you won't even be bothered if this share price come down a bit. You are not worried because you know that over time, as long as the company continue to produce, as long as they continue to perform, then you begin to earn dividend, and it will help you over time. So I think that there's a way you can build. It's just being deliberate about it, and you always get to that threshold that you've earmarked for yourself.
Thank you, Ayo. I also think another angle to this question is the person is seeing, because we mentioned that the minimum for commercial paper is 5 million. So I'm sure the person is thinking, maybe I have 2 million, maybe I have 1 million. Can you look for somebody else like me that has 1 million or 2 million or 3 million and merge us together?
Okay, yes. Okay, I get that. Most times, yes, if you are interested, you can also reach out, and sometimes we try to look at the way we can work around it. So you can also look at once we look at that, because it's regulatory. Sometimes this minimum is not because of AfroInvest, apart from the treasury bills, because that one we get it in bulk and we're able to break it down for people to buy in bits. Then you can look at that. Then the mutual fund is also an option to build your investments. The minimum is also very low. It can be as low as 1,000 naira, 5,000 naira that you build your investments. So the mutual fund, you have the one that is fixed income, you have the one that is equities, you have the one that is dollar denominated. So you look at this and you are able to have a structure to help you to build your investments, and you can be able to invest in those instruments directly to earn higher return.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ayo. I have another question for you, Ayo. Someone says, how do we sign up for the Optimum app? I assume the person is trying to say Optimus app. I know Jennifer mentioned that she uses it to invest during our conversation. Okay,
thank you. So the Optimus app is available on the iOS and the Android Play. It's called Optimus by AfroInvest, because you see different Optimus product there, but this is called Optimus by AfroInvest, which helps you to also save, and you can gather the money. Even as we progress, the treasury bills, commercial paper we're talking about, you'll be able to buy it even on the Optimus platform as we progress. So it's AfroInvest is repositioning as a digital bank, and we're trying to digitalize everything and make it accessible. So we'll call it democratized investments, making it accessible for everyone. So even the commercial paper that we're saying, once there's a technology to push it, the minimum can be brought down for everybody to access it. So we're already on this tech journey, and we believe that over time, you have access to everything. You'll be able to buy US foreign stocks on the platform, buy Nigerian stocks, be able to make payments using your virtual card, even on the platform as we progress. Yeah.
Thank you, Ayo. So you just answered one of the questions I saw here earlier. Someone was saying, can I buy foreign stocks? We're working on it. We heard you before you spoke, so we're working on it. We'll notify you once we get there. And someone says, Ayobami Adenubi, I hope I was good with that pronunciation. He says, do you give stock analysis, company performance versus country's economy versus price prediction and dividend expectation, and advice to your customers? Okay. That question is to Ayo.
Okay, thanks. And I think that's like our bread and butter that we are known for in the industry, and in terms of research, providing foresight. So if you sign up, there are reports. You get the daily market report that tells you what has happened in the stock market. On Friday, you get the elaborate report that covers both the global space, what is happening in the global economy, covers what is happening in Nigeria economy, it covers what is happening in the fixed income. You know the rates where treasury bills is, as well as bonds. Be able to see that. Then he also talks about the expectation for the new week. Then Financial Jennifer spoke about the weekly recommendation that goes out every Monday. If you are not receiving those reports and you have signed up, you're already a client, then please reach out so that we can check again and be sure that you have been added to that platform. And most times we also hold, you see our research department, they also hold webinars like this where they also break down further things, speak about the expectation. So you even our different arm, the asset management, they talk about investment strategies, what you should be doing. They speak about what the outlook is, so that all these things are to help and guide you when you are making investment decisions.
Thank you, Ayo. So there's a comment in the chat box talking about being burnt from investments. I'd like Jennifer to touch on that. I can't find the question anymore. It's moved so fast.
Oh yeah, I think I saw it. I saw the question as well. I don't know if there are so many comments that, okay, she said something about, I'm trying to see if I can see it from Joyce. Joyce, if you can resend, she has been, I felt that because I mentioned it before, a lot of us, I wouldn't deny, I don't follow Chop That Breakfast from bad investment. So she was like, if she can, is it that if she can trust her free investor or something? So this is what I have to tell you, Joy. That's why I was thankful when I got this invite, because when we know better, we can do better. Now you know the kind, I'm so sorry for your bad experience, but moving forward, we'll make better decisions. Now we've known the better options we have, go with them. And then recently there's been a breakout on so many platforms. This one is no longer agri-tech. This one is, I don't know what to call it, fintech. I don't know, that there'll be so many of them out there. And this is one question I also get a lot. People always inbox me, can I use this platform? I can't vouch for every platform. But one thing I need you to note, the way you research an investment you want to make, you should also research the investment platform you are getting on board to. You should research who you are giving your money to. And part of the ways you can do that, what is their history? How long have they been in business? I remember the first time I heard of AfriInvest was, is it 2 years ago? That was when they did 25 years anniversary back then, when we were, all these agri-tech people, we were just finishing us. I'm like, 25 years. Anniversary. These people have been doing this for the past 25 years. That was the first thing that attracted me. And then you look at the management. Yeah, that platform you want to get on board. You want to look at the management. Then I was doing my research. I was just trying to see all the people on top of AfriInvest, and I was impressed. Yeah, I was impressed by the portfolio. That was how I met my Mr. Ayo then, because I'm like, this man, he was at AfriInvest then. That's how we got to meet, because he's someone I respect so much in the industry. So before you get on board any investment platform, please check how long have they been in business. Are they properly licensed by the right people, SEC and all of that? Who are managing the affairs of that company? Their customers, what are they saying? So these are the kind of things you want to check before you give your money to anybody. Please ensure these things are in order, because you might go in, okay, I want to do this investment. You want to do, there is this one I had recently. There is one particular name. They told me that these people were doing it. So that one is about insurance. Insurance is a good thing, but then the platform they used was not, things went wrong. So you might have the good intention to do investment, but the platform you are doing that in, please, you have to research them. Of course, I use AfriInvestor for my shares. I use Optimus for my savings, and these are products of AfriInvest. And as far as I know, so far so good. It has been an interesting journey. So Joyce, I hope this has helped you on how you can research platforms going forward and make better decisions.
Thank you, Jennifer. We've run fast on time. If you could give us a day, we could talk about this for so long. Honestly, if we call Jennifer and give her like 3 days just to let her just talk about this, and I know them, they'll talk about it forever. But I see that the questions keep coming in, and we pride ourselves with keeping to time. So we asked for 1 hour, and you gave us 1 hour, and we are grateful for that. We want to thank you very specially for answering our call every time we say, come on, let's talk. You know, Finish has not entered it, because every time we call you, you show up in your numbers, you call people to join us. And we want to see you send messages to brokerage@afinvest.com, send an email. There's so many questions we couldn't touch here. We are sorry, we apologize. Please send an email to brokerage@afinvest.com. Someone will attend to you. An account officer will be assigned to you. We are really fast about these things. We want to help you reach that target, reach that goal for investment. I want to especially thank Jennifer and Ayodeji for joining us this afternoon. You've made this conversation very insightful. My note is full. I can't wait to go and start running. And Jennifer said, when you know better, you do better. So I know better now. So I'm going to do better. Thank you so much. So we've come to the end of today's discussion. I'm sorry. I know some of you are doing, wherever you are, but we have to end. We have to go. We're always at your service. Please feel free to send us an email. We want to thank you. The holidays are coming. Please stay safe and make sure that you enjoy the holidays. Stay alive so you can invest, and all of that stuff. Thank you so much. Don't forget to go to our YouTube channel, AfriInvest West Africa, to get this recorded. If you know somebody that should have been here, was not here, was in strong head, send them the link. Help them to invest. You know what I mean? My name is Treasure Okuku, and on here with me, I've had Jennifer, Financial Jennifer, and Ayodeji Ebo. Thank you so much. I saw something before we round off. I saw someone ask about investing in dollars and euro bonds. We have a sister arm that does that. You can drop your contacts in the chat box. We have everything you need, basically, everything investment. So reach out to us. If it's not us, we'll direct you to our sister company. So just send us an email. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your day. Happy holidays in advance. Is it too early? You take it as I give you. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.
We booked our ticket for travel. Thank you so much, AfriInvest, for having me.
Keep any money that any uncle gives you, any auntie says take 5K, do better. You know what I mean? Someone says take 7K for the holidays. Keep the money, invest the money. It's not too small. Don't forget. Let my voice be ringing in your head. It's not too small to invest. Thank you so much. So bye for now. Bye, everyone.